The Falcons host the Dolphins in a game where I forecast Atlanta to win 27-19. Bijan Robinson leads the NFL with 152.3 scrimmage yards per game. He also leads the league with 237 rushing yards after forcing a missed tackle. Now, the Dolphins, they've allowed 272 yards after missing tackles, ranking 26th in the NFL. And overall, Miami's allowing 159.3 rushing yards per game, which ranks 32nd or last in the NFL. Bijan is also averaging 13 yards per reception this season and could surpass his 2024 receiving total on Sunday. He has 390 receiving yards in 6 games so far this season. He had 431 in all 17 last. Tua also has 10 interceptions this season, which is tied for the most in the league with Geno Smith, and it's also tied for the second most in any season in his career. He had 7 in 11 games last season. The Ravens return from their bye to host the Bears in a game where I forecast Baltimore to win 27-25. Lamar Jackson is completing 63.9% of his downfield passes this season. That is the third best rate in the NFL. He also has 7 touchdowns with only 1 interception on such passes. And the Bears, they've allowed 9 touchdowns on downfield passes this season. That is 31st in the NFL. Only Dallas has more with 10. The Bills return from their bye and head to Carolina to face the Panthers in a game where I forecast Buffalo to win 28-20. Now, the Panthers, they've had the third easiest schedule to this point in the season. They've only played 2 teams who are above 500. That'd be Jacksonville and New England, and they lost to both of them. The Bills have faced the easiest schedule in the NFL to this point. They've only played 1 team with a winning record. That's New England, and they lost. Joe Flacco is set to make his second start as a Bengal, again at home, when the Jets come to town in a game where I forecast Cincinnati to win 25-20. Joe Flacco was great on 10-plus air yard passes, so those downfield passes. He had a 56% completion percentage, 3 touchdowns, and no interceptions. Let's compare that to Jake Browning on the same type of passes. He had a 42% completion percentage with 4 touchdowns and 8 interceptions. By the way, Browning's 8 total interceptions is still tied for third most in the NFL. The San Francisco 49ers head to Houston in a game where I forecast a 2-point win for the Texans, 21-19. CJ Stroud is averaging just 4.9 yards per attempt when pressured this season. That is the 9th lowest rate in the NFL. He also has just 1 touchdown with 2 interceptions under pressure. Here's the thing, due to so many injuries to the 49ers, including now Bryce Huff, he could be under less pressure in this one. However, Nico Collins has a concussion, which may leave Stroud with limited options at skill positions. On the other side, we know it's going to be Christian McCaffrey, who already has 185 touches this season, which is more than 30 more touches than the next closest guy. He also leads the NFL in scrimmage yards with 981. The Patriots host the Browns in a game where I forecast a 24-18 victory for New England. Drake May leads the NFL with a 75.2 completion percentage. Looking at what happens when he throws into tight windows, so when his receiver has less than 1 yard of separation, it's bananas. He's 20 of 32, 273 yards, 3 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. That 62.5 completion percentage leads the league by 14.5 percentage points. Sam Darnold's the next closest at 48%. In a rematch of a thrilling game from just a few weeks ago, we have the Eagles and Giants squaring off, this time in Philadelphia, in a game where I forecast the Eagles to win 28-19. Jalen Hurts leads the NFL with 31 deep passing attempts. He's also 4th in completion percentage on these 20-plus air yarders. 15 of 31, so a 48.4 completion percentage, and he ranks 2nd in the NFL with 5 deep passing touchdowns. The Giants' defense has faced the most such targets to receivers aligned wide and allowed a 64.7% completion percentage to those passes, ranking 22nd in the NFL. The Saints host the Bucs in an NFC South clash where I forecast Tampa Bay to win 26-19. Now, the Bucs receivers aligned wide could both be rookies in Emeka Egbuka and Tez Johnson. We will see some Sterling Shepard in there as well. However, they're likely still without Bucky Irving, Mike Evans, and Chris Godwin. To their credit, though, even with all of these injuries, the Bucs have just 4 giveaways this season, which is tied for 4th best in the league. The Broncos host the Cowboys in a game where I forecast Denver to win 27-23. Don't look now, but the Broncos have won 4 straight. Now, NFL teams had lost 1,608 consecutive games when trailing by 18 or more points with less than 6 minutes remaining in the 4th quarter until the Broncos in Week 7. Their 33 points scored against the Giants in the 4th quarter are a franchise record. It's also the most points in the 4th quarter in NFL history by a team that was shut out after 3 quarters. Indianapolis hosts Tennessee in the second installment of this AFC South clash. This time, I forecast the Colts to win 32-17. Indianapolis stands alone with the best record in the NFL at 6-1. They also lead the league in points per game at 33.1. The Titans' defense ranked 29th in points per game allowed at 27.4. Jonathan Taylor has 3 rushing touchdowns in 3 of his last 5 games. The first of these was Week 3 at Tennessee, where he had 17 rushes for 102 yards and 3 touchdowns in a 41-20 win. Aaron Rodgers and the Steelers get a crack at his old team, the Packers, when Green Bay comes to town in a game where I forecast a very chippy 1-point win for the Packers, 23-22. I know the quarterback angle is fun, but this one is about the edge rushers because Micah Parsons leads the NFL with 41 pressures this season, and he's only played 69% of snaps. He averaged 81% of snaps in the 13 games he appeared in last season, also 81% in 17 games in 2023. And by the way, he's been double teamed on 41 pass rushes this season. That's second among edge defenders. On the other side, TJ Watt, he's been chipped on 77 pass rushes. That's the most in the league. The week concludes at Arrowhead when the Washington Commanders come to town. I forecast the Chiefs to win 30-19. Kansas City leads the league with just 2 giveaways this season. Last year, Mahomes tied a career low with just 26 passing touchdowns. He already has 14 through 7 games, which puts him on pace for 34, which would be his most since 2022. On the other side, Jaden Daniels' status is uncertain with a hamstring injury.